Drafting is an inexact science. Even the best talent evaluators have their share of terrible picks. Yet when you can find value and identify truly elite talents, it can set your team up for many years of success. Over the past decade, there have been some phenomenal picks. Without further ado, here's a list of the 10 best NFL draft picks over the last 10 years. Starting at number 10, we have Jimmy Graham. The tight end was drafted by the New Orleans Saints 95th overall in the 2010 NFL Draft. The Saints took a flyer on a man that only played 1 year of college football after playing 4 years of basketball. But boy did the flyer pay off. Jimmy Graham was absolutely dominant at his peak. He racked up 99 catches for 1,310 yards and 11 touchdowns in 2011, and 86 for 1,215 and 16 TDs in 2013. Overall, Graham has been selected to 5 Pro Bowls and has been an All-Pro twice. While he made a name for himself in New Orleans, he remained extremely productive after being traded to the Seattle Seahawks. In only 3 seasons, Graham set the Seahawks franchise record for the most receptions, receiving yards, and receiving touchdowns at the tight end position. New Orleans deserves extra credit for this pick when one considers how risky this selection was and how rare it is to find dominant players at the end of the 3rd round. At number 9, we have Travis Frederick, who the Dallas Cowboys selected with the 31st pick of the 2013 draft. Now, you may be very surprised to see him included in this list, but let me explain myself. At the time, the Dallas Cowboys were severely scrutinized for this pick. After all, to many people's dismay, the Cowboys traded down from number 18 in the 1st round of the 2013 draft for the 31st and 74th picks. They were criticized even more when they took Frederick in the 1st round, with some calling him a 3rd-day pick. It doesn't help that he's a center, perhaps the least glorious position in all of football. Yet Frederick has been sensational, maybe the best center in the NFL since he's entered the league. In his 6 seasons in which he's been healthy, Frederick has made the Pro Bowl 5 times and has been an All-Pro 3 times. I give credit to Dallas for ignoring the outside noise, identifying the player they liked, even if many others didn't, and watching him develop into an elite player at his position. At number 8, we have Lamar Jackson. Jackson was selected with the 32nd overall pick by the Ravens in the 1st round of the 2018 draft. Now, this is probably the most controversial inclusion on this list, and I spent a lot of time debating whether or not Lamar should even make the cut and where he should be placed. Yet ultimately, I decided to put him 8th. Lamar is one of the most exciting players to enter the NFL in decades, and is well on his way to an MVP season in which he's leading the best team in football. I also give tremendous credit to Baltimore for taking a chance on him at the end of the 1st round and putting him in an excellent position to succeed. I think Lamar needs to be on this list due to his obvious talent and the great achievement he's already had. However, I hesitate to put him higher just because of how young and unproven he is. While I'm confident he'll have a bright future, I'm waiting a bit to see how he performs with a different offensive coordinator and without a scheme that is so perfectly tailored to his skills. Number 7, J.J. Watt. It's very difficult for 1st round picks to make this list, especially non-quarterbacks, but J.J. Watt is just that special. Watt was selected with the number 11 overall pick of the 2011 draft. Texans fans actually booed on draft night when Houston chose him, but he's been the best pick in franchise history, by far. Watt is only the 2nd player in NFL history to be named the NFL's Defensive Player of the Year 3 times. He's a 5-time first-team All-Pro. He's led the NFL in sacks twice. He's won the Man of the Year award. I mean, I can go on and on. There's nothing this guy hasn't done. He's been an incredible pro for the Texans, and he's easily proven to be an excellent value selection in the middle of the 1st round. At number 6, we have another defensive player, Aaron Donald. The Rams drafted him 13th overall in 2014. I know there may be some pushback to having him higher than Watt, but I give Donald the slightest of nods, as I think he's just a bit better. It also might be easy to forget, but many people had doubts about Donald as a prospect. While now smaller interior pass rushers are in vogue, that was not the case when Donald was drafted. There were lots of concerns that he was too small to become a legitimate interior lineman. All Donald has done since is establish himself as one of the game's best and richest defensive players. Donald's made the Pro Bowl every year he's been in the league and has won Defensive Player of the Year twice. The Rams deserve further credit for picking not just a fantastic player, but an untraditional one, and setting a trend in the process. Number 5, Antonio Brown. Brown was selected with the 195th overall pick in the 2010 draft by the Pittsburgh Steelers. With all the circus that's followed him recently, it may be easy to forget just how insanely good AB has been. I mean, he's a 7-time Pro Bowler with 5 All-Pro selections and twice the NFL season leader in yards and receptions. He went through a multi-year stretch in which he was undoubtedly the best wide receiver in the NFL. And to think he was a late 6th round pick. That is absolutely insane value that the Steelers were able to pick up. Number 4, Rob Gronkowski. Gronk was drafted 42nd overall in the 2009 draft by the New England Patriots. Now, I know 2009 wasn't in the past decade, but considering it's too early to evaluate the 2009 NFL draft, I think it's fair to include 2009, just to create a 10-year sample size. Regardless, anytime a team can draft a transcendent player who will be in the Pro Football Hall of Fame conversation, it's obviously good business. What made the selection of Gronkowski so impressive was that he wasn't viewed as a sure thing coming out of Arizona, and some teams had injury concerns with his back. But the Patriots felt comfortable taking the risk early in the 2nd round and even traded up to ensure they got their man. Gronk went on to become probably the best tight end in NFL history, earning first-team All-Pro honors 4 times and playing a crucial role in 3 Patriots Super Bowl runs, breaking numerous records along the way. What moves Gronk so high up this list is just how much he contributed to winning. Without him, the Patriots dynasty would not have dominated nearly as much over the last decade. At number 3, we have Patrick Mahomes. The Kansas City Chiefs selected Mahomes in the 1st round, 10th overall, in the 2017 NFL Draft. While his lack of experience and status as a first-round pick may prevent him from earning one of the top 2 spots on this list, I have no hesitation in placing Mahomes this high. Mahomes has already won the MVP and looks poised to dominate the NFL over the next decade plus. While in retrospect it may seem easy to discredit the value in the Mahomes selection, as he did end up being a top 10 pick, one must look deeper into the context of the situation. Mahomes is a very polarizing prospect, with grades all over the place. He was considered a raw project with major bust potential. While the Kansas City Chiefs already had a solid proven quarterback on their roster, they made an aggressive move with an eye towards the future, trading all the way up from the back of the 1st round to the top 10 and paying a big price in the process. Yet, that was a price the Chiefs were more than happy to pay, as it enabled them to draft one of the most gifted quarterbacks in NFL history. Number 2, Richard Sherman. The Seattle Seahawks selected Sherman in the 5th round, 154th overall, of the 2011 draft. Although Sherman was the 25th cornerback drafted in 2011, since entering the league, he has the most interceptions and defended passes of any active player. A 4-time All-Pro, Sherman played an integral role in Seattle's dominant Legion of Boom secondary. He led Seattle to 1 Super Bowl victory and another Super Bowl appearance. He's even witnessed a recent career resurgence, anchoring San Francisco's surprisingly fantastic defense. Yet, perhaps Sherman's greatest legacy will be how he changed the way in which the cornerback position was perceived. A big, physical player, Sherman offered a new prototype for teams to aim for in the back end. Sherman is an easy first ballot Hall of Famer and was an incredible pickup by Seattle in the 5th round. And at number 1, we have Russell Wilson. Wilson was chosen with the 75th overall pick of the 2012 NFL Draft. This list will conclude with 2 consecutive Seahawks, and for good reason. He might actually be the best draft pick in franchise history. Finding a Super Bowl winning, MVP caliber quarterback in the 3rd round, as Seattle did in 2012, makes him an easy call for the best in the past decade. Wilson has already accomplished a bunch: a Super Bowl champion, 7-time Pro Bowler, Rookie of the Year, etc., but he seems to only be getting better. It's also relevant to discuss his long-term impact on the draft. Before Wilson, small quarterbacks were not given a fair chance in the NFL. Yet he changed everything. He showed that small dynamic quarterbacks could really compete and deserved greater opportunities. Without Russell Wilson, there's absolutely no chance that teams feel comfortable enough to take small quarterbacks like Baker Mayfield and Kyler Murray 1st overall in the draft. Overall, quarterback is such a valuable position. When you can find arguably the best one in the league in the 3rd round, it deserves endless props. Well, that'll do it for my list. I hope you enjoyed watching the video as much as I enjoyed making it. Be sure to comment your thoughts down below. How did I do? Who did I forget? Share the video with your friends and leave a like if you enjoyed. Also, let me know if you're interested in a part 2 of this video, perhaps the 10 worst draft picks of the decade. Feel free to subscribe to the channel and follow me on Twitter and Instagram at RespectThePoint. Also, be sure to click on the bell to make sure you never miss a video. That's all for this one. Thank you for watching, and goodbye.